12, 2009, from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. There is a communication from the Executive Director of the Merrimack Repertory Theater, Tom Parrish, to the board dated April the 28th regarding the special request of the MRT for this particular matter. Also, as a last-minute filing, Father Hughes of St. Anthony's Parish has filed for all alcoholic beverages for 2 dates in the month of June. This pertains to the St. Anthony's Parish Anthony's Feast, St. Anthony's Feast. They hold the event at the parking lot adjacent to the St. Anthony's Church at 893 Central Street. That will be Saturday, June 13, 2009, from 11 a.m. to 12 midnight. In addition, there will be Sunday, June the 14th, from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., also at the parking lot of St. Anthony's Church. Also, the License Commission has applications for beer and wine only, or either one. Carter Miller of the Merrimack Repertory Theater for theatrical performances at the Liberty Hall, 50 East Merrimack Street, 1/2 hour prior to and during intermission for the following dates, starting with tomorrow, Friday, May 1st, through the 17th of May, 2009. There are 13 dates in total. Also, Sean Siros of the Lowell Firefighters Association for Sunday, June 7th, 2009. Is Mr. Siros here? Sean Siros? Should I proceed or to read it? Or?
No. Yeah, it's not here.
Okay, well, we'll waive that reading. William Fuller, of the manager of the Bartender Service of New England Limited Liability Company, LLC. He has 3 dates for beer and wine only. Thursday, April the 30th, 2009, from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. The event is the Chancellor Reception at the Allen House on the UMass Lowell campus. Also, May 12th, Tuesday, May 12th, 2009, from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. The event is the Trustee Reception at Cumnock Hall, being the trustee room at the UMass Lowell campus. And last is the Thursday, May 21st, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. The event is the College Faculty Reception at the Wanalancet Mills on the first floor at 600 Suffolk Street. Also, we have John Dyson of the Merrimack Repertory Theater for Saturday, May 30th, 2009, from 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m., and also 9 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. The event is a concert at Liberty Hall, 50 East Merrimack Street, with 2 performers, soloists with a contemporary band, i.e. the jazz or blues. And also, finally, for beer and wine only, or either one, is Flora Monsalve of the Acetos Dona Flora Restaurant at 197 High Street for Saturday, May 9th, 2009, from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. The event is at 197 High Street in a celebration of Mother's Day. And she also has for Saturday, July 18th, 2009, from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. The event is a celebration of the Columbia Independence Day. And lastly, I have is Father Hughes again for beer and wine only. That is for the Saturday, the May 9th, from 11 a.m. to 12 midnight. This will be the Feast of Our Lady of Fatima. It will be held at the St. Anthony's Parish Hall at 920 Central Street.
All right, please step up to the mic and introduce yourselves for the record.
Penny Hamburgers, Worthing House Cafe.
All right, thank you.
John Dyson, Merrimack Repertory Theater.
Thank you.
Father Hughes, St. Anthony's Parish.
Carter Miller, Merrimack Repertory Theater.
Flora Beltran as Arizona Floor.
William Fuller, the Bartending Service of New England.
Mr. Fuller, no time like wait until the last minute. Okay, let me ask, how many people here have had the speech before? Okay, one person hasn't, so you get the speech. Everybody else is kind of a refresher. Look, this is your license that's being issued. It's not a license issued to the organization. It's not a license for the Repertory Theater. This is a license that's going out in your name and your name only, which means that if there's any liability that attaches to anything that goes wrong, it's in your name. Okay, you see how the downside of the upside. The downside is that, it's in your name. So you have an incumbent on you to be careful, and I would give the same speech as Chairman Bayless when he says, keep a cell phone with you, keep 911 dialed. If you're not going to have a police detail there, make sure that you have that number on speed dial and you can call a cop if anything is going wrong, okay? You're not going to get in trouble if you call somebody in, if you think that somebody's had too much to drink, if you cut them off. If you're going to walk away from the bar, are you going to be tending bar at this event?
No.
Okay. Do you know who is going to be tending bar? Okay. Make sure that your bartenders know what they're doing because, well, your name is the one that's on the line, okay? If you're not going to be there paying attention, make sure that they are carding. Make sure that they know what's going on. Make sure that everybody is up to speed on how to do things. And, just remember this, when they get pulled over for the DUI and they get convicted, the last question that the judge asks is, and where did you have your last drink? They don't ask where'd you have the 10 before that. They ask where the last one was and only the last one, and that's the one who comes back in front of us for trouble, okay? And if they leave and they get into an accident, the question is going to be, who served you the last drink? Because that's the dram shop that may be liable for for whoever they hit. All right, does anybody have any questions about licenses? All right.
And Mr. Dyson, on June 12th, you're having the special between 6 and 7 at the Repertory Theater?
Yes.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve all the licenses and to waive the fee for the June 12th day at the Merrimack Repertory Theater.
All right, I'll second the motion. Thank you. All right, motion made and seconded. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Thank you. Good luck and hope everything goes well with your events.
So if anyone has anything for amplification, please stay. Thank you. Commission will now take up the matter of special events permit for amplified outdoor public entertainment, starting with Penny Hemagas for the Music and Art Fest for Saturday, June 20th, 2009. She's also requesting that that be a rain date of June 27th, 2009, from 3 p.m. to 12 midnight. The event will take place at the parking lot at 152 Worthing Street. There will be DJs with amplification. And Father Hughes for St. Anthony's Parish for the St. Anthony's Feast, which is held Saturday, June 13th and Sunday, June the 14th. The hours would be on Sunday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., whereas Saturday would be 4 p.m. to 12 midnight. So let me just start with Saturday, 4 p.m. to 12 midnight, and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Music would be a disc jockey with the sound system.
All right. For the record, just please restate your names.
Penny Hamburgers, Worthing House Cafe.
Father Hughes, St. Anthony's Parish.
Okay. You know the rules. I know you've both been in here before. Just be considerate of your neighbors. All right. Keep an eye on things. Let's not have any noise complaints. I know the church has a tendency to have some rowdy events, but otherwise.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second. Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Commission will now take up the matter of a public hearing on an application by the Backpage Jazz and Comedy Club, LLC, doing business as the Backpage, Robert J. Ramirez, manager, for premises at 15 County Square, unit number 2. He's also including application for common vittler's license and for entertainment that would include live music, disc jockey, and jukebox. In addition, there would be live performances of comedians or alleged comedians. And in any event,
got one
he has
auditioning
properly
right now.
notified the butters.
Okay. Please introduce yourself for the record.
Hi, Robert Ramirez.
Okay, thank you. I think we have one matter that we'd like to take into executive session, so I'll make a motion to go into executive session.
Commission will now take up the matter of an executive session. Commissioner Occasion?
Yes.
Commissioner Weicker?
Yes.
Okay, and would be 5 minutes, okay.
Should be back in about 5 minutes. Okay. Hey, you come on back. I'll make a motion to reconvene.
Commissioner Occasion?
Yes.
Commissioner Whitcomb?
Yes. All right, we have your plan in front of us. Let's open it up for any public comment. All right, we have evidence that all the abutters were notified?
Yes, they have
Okay.
been properly notified.
All right, is there anybody here to speak in favor, in favor, in favor? Okay, one up.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm here to speak in favor of the motion to grant a license to the Backpage Jazz and Comedy Club.
Could you give us your name and
Yeah,
name and
my name is
address?
Richard Rourke. I live at 58 Prescott Street, Unit 5.
Okay,
And I think it'll be an enhancement to the building. It'll be an opportunity to have another business locate themselves here in Lowell and add some tax revenue that is very much needed, especially since the possibility of the DoubleTree being sold to the University of Lowell. We'll be looking for additional tax revenue. These gentlemen have done an outstanding job with the Blue Tillet, and it's an excellent opportunity to have another member of the family open an establishment in the city. I therefore ask that you favorably act on this license.
Thank you.
thank you. Anyone else in favor?
Hello, my name is Michael Joaquin. I'm a tenant and neighbor for 15 Kearney Square. I own the floors above the Jazz Club and also the adjacent building next door, the old Sun Building. And we'll be converting it into condominiums and townhouses. And I'm also in favor of seeing the Jazz Club go. Bob's doing a good job. One concern I do have is that noise that will go up through, reverberate through the buildings is a concern of mine. And I've talked to Bob about it, and I'm concerned about that he does a good job and makes it soundproof, and he's assured me he will. And I didn't know if it was possible to make that a condition of the license or anything like that, because I have my potential buyers in the future. I want to be able to communicate with them that, you know, we're all set, we've taken care of the issue with the Jazz Club downstairs, and the sound will be within its own residence and not throughout the future residential units that will be coming in place.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Steve Ramirez, Blue Telly, the owner of Blue Telly Restaurant. I'd like to echo Mr. Rourke and Mr. Joaquin also, but I'm in favor. He'll be right next to me, and we'll be working as a team, overseeing, making sure everything is done right.
Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else to speak in favor? All right, that session of the public hearing is closed. Anyone to speak in opposition? In opposition? In opposition? Seeing no one, that section of the hearing is closed.
What steps do you plan to take to soundproof the unit?
We got an engineer that we're trying to find out more about. I know the city has a requirement, but we're already going above and beyond that. But me and Mike were just talking about some issues that can happen, and I'm going to follow up. I actually may have a special engineer most likely come in and give me, granted, when I bought into this, that it was supposed to be just commercial, and I wasn't going to have to worry about any of, that was the key thing about buying there, but I am going to, make sure that my end of it is best I can, and go above and beyond. Obviously, my neighbor would, keeping in mind what I was going to do before he came along, he would have to do, if he's got to do something on his part to make sure that it doesn't affect his tenants either. But I'm going to the, probably get a sound engineer or whatever they do to key me in on some of the stuff that can happen after they take a good look at the place,
Because within the last 6 months here in the city, we've had an issue with an establishment that had residential units above it with noise management, and we actually suspended their license until they got it soundproof. So that's just something that there is precedent that we can do that. But I don't think we would make it, I wouldn't recommend making a condition of the license, because you've stated that you will work with an engineer to get that taken care of. And have you been involved in serving alcoholic beverages?
I have not.
You have not? Okay. Do you have any experience at all?
Just from my brothers, being there and, observing and whatnot. I mean, I'm taking the business that I'm running now, this is my busy season's coming to an end, and we're getting closer to, so I'm taking that course.
Tips course?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and whatever else I can pick up along the way about it, so.
Yeah, I mean, we don't require you to take it, but we strongly encourage that you take the tips course. We also strongly encourage that you look into, there are some companies out there who will, look, that the city of Lowell runs underage operations where they send in somebody underage, and we want to make sure you're not serving people who are underage.
Right.
So, now there are private companies who will test your own people for, a regular fee, and you don't have to worry about if somebody slips through that you're going to be coming in front of us.
Yeah.
But, we don't want to see a problem starting. I mean, that's a very nice area. It's right near the college. Gets a lot of traffic. It's a major thoroughfare, so, it's a nice draw to downtown as well. But just be aware. I mean, I had a bar owner tell me just a couple of days ago that he's up to 500 fake IDs that he's confiscated in the last 4 months. So just be aware that it's out there. People are going to be trying to get past you. Whoever you've got checking IDs, and anybody who's serving alcohol should be checking ID if you're not checking them at the door. Some places check them at the door and you just don't enter unless you're over 21. Some places that are more family-oriented restaurants, they check the people who are buying, but you got to make sure that they are checking ID, and you've got to get yourself familiar with the industry, because you'll quickly find that if you're back behind the bar, or if your people are back behind the bar and things are busy, that starts to fall by the wayside. And, without making any admissions, I was under 21 once, and, let's just say a busy bartender is the underage kid's best friend.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you.
No. I'll make a motion to approve the license.
I will second that motion. It's just subject to what we discussed.
Possibly, the hold up the forwarding of the papers into the Alcohol Beverages Control Commission, pending final submittal from either the principal, the applicant.
Okay.
Or
So subject to the final papers coming in, I'll second the motion to approve. All right, motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Great.
I hope
Thank
it
you
all
very
works
much.
out, and we're glad to always see something new and exciting coming into Lowell.
Beautiful. Thank you again.
Thank you, John. This is the next item, and butters were notified properly, and you may have seen that sketch before on the Olay Cafe, the Olay restaurant at 72 Merrimack Street.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Commission now opened a hearing on an application by the corporation known as Haga Corporation, doing business as the Olay Restaurant and Tapas Bar. Jeffrey Hernandez is the manager of record, the all-alcoholic beverage restaurant licensee at 76 Merrimack Street, for alteration of premises, which would include an adjacent sidewalk for the restaurant seating. Members of the commission, Mr. Hernandez had been granted a license from the city council to encroach on the public way, that part of the sidewalk that is in front of his place of business at 76 Merrimack Street, less 4 feet to allow for pedestrian right-of-way. And now Mr. Hernandez is before the board asking that not only in addition to food service in that outdoor area, he would like to also offer his customers alcohol beverages, subject to local board approval and State Alcohol Beverages Control Commission.
All right. For the record, please state your name.
Good afternoon. My name's Jeffrey Hernandez.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about what you're looking to do.
Well, we've been there since August. So far, so good. We've extended out to the sidewalk by, thanks to the permission of the city. We're offering, outdoor seating, the meals and everything, and it's just something that we feel is needed as part of doing business in the downtown area to be able to serve our patrons alcoholic beverages in this area as well, especially now that the weather has gotten better.
You don't want to have them choose between sitting indoor and sitting outdoor if they're going to have a beer or a sangria?
Exactly.
Okay. How have things been going as far as, have you been subject to any of the underage things?
Luckily, we've been able to make our restaurant, we've catered it to a 30-plus crowd, so I want to say they've shied away. It's a very adult crowd. It's a full-service restaurant, family-oriented, so the underage crowd, thank God, has stayed away, and we keep a very vigilant eye.
Okay. Well, let me open this up to the public, and I'm going to ask if there's anybody here to speak in favor of this application. All right, hearing none. Is there anybody who wishes to speak in opposition? In opposition to this application? All right, seeing none, that portion of the public hearing is closed. Any thoughts?
No, I think business has been good since August. You haven't been in here at all with any violations, so I think it will enhance Merrimack Street. There's plenty of room for individuals to walk by, and I think it will be a welcome addition to downtown. So I'll make a motion to approve the license.
I'll second the motion. Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say yes?
Yes.
Yes. All right, good luck to you. And,
Thank you very much.
Thank you for opening up downtown and making it a little nicer, especially in this good weather.
Great. Have a good afternoon.
With respect to the next matter, go ahead. On the matter of a application for Vanny Noor Corporation, Vanny Noor President, for an all-alcoholic beverage restaurant license for premises at 716 Middlesex Street. Commission may open the hearing, but for circumstances beyond the control, the matter to do with the notification to the abutters had not been completed according to the attorney representing the applicant, Van Than Un. That communication was received by the License Commission Office on April the 29th, and in that communication, Attorney Un is requesting that another publication of the legal notice take place. In anticipation of that being the case, it would be that the applicant would be notifying the abutters in a timely manner within 3 days of its publication. I'm not sure if anyone might be here to speak on it.
Right. Well, ask first, do we have the applicant or anyone on behalf of the applicant? We don't. Do we have anybody with respect to the application for a license at 716 Middlesex Street, units 1, 4, and 5? Do we have anybody here that wishes to speak either in favor or in opposition? Either in favor or in opposition? All right, seeing none, I'll make a motion that we just go ahead and continue this then until May 14th?
Right, what it is that a legal notice is expected to be published in a local newspaper, the Lowell Sun, tomorrow, Friday, May 1st. In anticipation of that, the hearing would be held on May the 14th.
Okay. And we'll leave the public comment section open until May 14th?
Sure.
All right. Motion made?
Seconded.
All right, in favor? Yes.
Yes.
Commission will now open a hearing on an application by the R&Z Company LLC, doing business as Tudo Bean Wine and Cheese Cellars. Catherine P. Rourke is manager of the LLC at 58 Prescott Street. It is requested that Catherine P. Rourke be approved as the manager of the limited liability company. It is also requested that Ellen Andre be approved as the manager of record of the licensed premises at 58 Prescott Street. Members of the commission, this matter goes back to year 2008. in which at that time, the License Commission approved the license for RNZ Company LLC for a malt beverage and wine package store for premises at 58 Prescott Street, unit number 3C. It would be a retail unit space of approximately 1,156 square feet. The entrance being on the ground floor of the east side of the Claflin block, which fronts Prescott Street, but the entrance would be on the other side where the canal is, on the back side of that building. As you approach it from by way of Central or Market Street, you would be looking on the right, just before what used to be the Lowell Sun printing building. The ABCC had found cause not to take favorable action, or any action on the application until there was some constructive change in the LLC itself, and that is what's before the License Commission now.
Hi, for the record, could you please introduce yourselves?
Catherine Rourke.
Ellen and Andre for Tutto Bene.
Okay, now, I recall, I was here when we first voted on this about a year ago.
Yeah, I was here too.
You're here as well. Has anything changed from the way you guys plan on operating, doing business?
No, nothing I know of.
Okay, and is this what's holding you up from opening, I guess, right?
Yes.
Okay.
If you could just for my own edification, the blue Tala is on the corner there, and they have outdoor seating.
Right.
So they'd walk around the outdoor seating to get to your?
No.
No?
Do you want to describe it?
Yeah, if you could just describe it, just so.
They could do that. I have walked down that way myself, but there's also an alleyway.
Is there?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's also a bridge over the canal.
Okay.
And a pathway.
Okay,
by the
great.
college. So there's a lot of ways.
There's several
Yeah.
Ways.
excuse me, there's several ways they can actually get to the shop.
Okay.
So from across the footbridge where the Doubletree and Middlesex Community College is,
Right.
would be probably a main access through the tunnel and also by Blue Tally and the Backdoor Cafe.
Okay, great.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and off of Central as well.
Yeah.
No, what this is really involves is the fact that it's like in a corporation where you have president, treasurer, clerk, and stock transfer. Well, certainly there's no stock to be transferred, but the structure of the corporation originally had Richard Rourke and Stephanie Zotis as the managers for the LLC. They are now removed, and that matter has been amended with the Secretary of State's office under their Corporations Division, and we have the acknowledgement to that. And now Catherine Rourke is now taking on the role of the sole manager of the LLC, and Mrs.
Ellen?
Andre
Yes.
is to be the manager of record for the licensed premises, who would be responsible for the day-to-day operation of the business. Not a member of the LLC, just much like a corporation has a manager or someone responsible for the day-to-day activity.
So in essence, we have a change of manager being presented from a prior approval that never got processed. And,
Right, anything that the License Commission approved, I don't think needs to be revisited as far as granting of the beer and wine package store license. It's just that if the corporation is not quite, or the LLC is not quite what statutorily is required or is allowed for, then this is to correct that.
Okay.
The only thing that I would just, on the application, you signed it Ellen Husson? Is that
Well, maiden name.
maiden name?
I use Ellen Husson Andre sometimes.
Okay,
so
it's just the name is, on the application is Ellen Andre, but
That's
just,
correct.
you might just want to
Make that correction.
make that correction to that.
Would you want to amend your signature, or do you stand by
Well,
your?
Shouldn't it be the
Whatever
same
you-
as the
whatever
name
works
that's
for
there?
you.
The
Well,
name is the road's manager.
We're not concerned so much for ourselves as it gets sent down to Boston and somebody there says, well, who's this, and sends it back.
Right.
Yeah, we like to minimize the amount of work we have to redo.
Yeah,
Right.
I know.
Yeah.
Maybe she should, AKA, Ellen, just to have it. Not for us, just so that the ABCC.
That's fine. Thank you. Thanks. Yep. Okay.
Counsel?
The only thought I had, I wondered if the commission is comfortable with I was thinking about the tunnel entrance to leading back to this, the lighting situation as far as the evening is concerned, in terms of safety. Perhaps they've addressed that. I just wondered.
One thing that you should be aware of is that there are condominiums right above there, so the lighting is well in there, and there's parking for the tenants in the back. So, Dick, did you want to add anything?
Again, gentlemen, Richard Rourke, that tunnel is well lit. There's 2 huge ambient lighting systems in that tunnel. Also in the back of the building, there is ambient lighting that lights up the entire rear of the building. So there's sufficient lighting back there, Councilor.
All right, is there anything the police department's got a concern on, or in that neighborhood?
No, I have nothing to report.
Make a motion to approve.
All right, I'll second the motion. All right, motion made and seconded. All in favor, say yes?
Yes.
Yes. All right, good luck. Hope we get it through down in Boston.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, I'll set the next one. Commission will now open a hearing on allegations of misconduct as charged by the Superintendent of Police, Kenneth E. LaValle, against the corporation known as Jumbo Enterprises, Inc., doing business as Acre Sports Bar. Dennis R. Mercier is the manager of record, the all-alcoholic beverage restaurant licensee at 282-284 Fletcher Street.
Good afternoon. Attorney James Flood on behalf of the Acre Sports Bar.
Good afternoon, Dennis Mercier.
Okay.
Officer Stephen B. Land, Lowell Police Department.
Well, let me ask, do you want us to read the complaint into the record, or do you waive the reading?
I waive the reading.
Okay.
Before we begin, could I address one preliminary issue?
Absolutely.
I know there's been some question regarding who is the license holder at this time. If you may recall, we were before the commission in December of '08. At that time, the commission approved a transfer of the change of manager from Dennis Mercier to Mr. Larry Valcourt. However, subsequent to that, the Department of Revenue informed us that there was a tax issue, and since that time, we've been working with them and the ABCC to resolve that. As of this date, it's not, but we're told that an approval should be forthcoming soon. With that in mind.
Okay. So even though we approved it, it hasn't been finalized until down in Boston, correct?
That is correct. So as of this date, Dennis Mercier remains the manager of record.
Okay. All right. Let's begin. Officer, do you want to tell us your observations?
Good afternoon. On March 17th, which was St. Patrick's Day, I was assigned to patrol the area of Broadway and Fletcher Streets in and around Market Basket, Rite Aid, which encompasses the area where the Acre Sports Pub is located. The area is highly traveled. It's an area that exits directly off the Lowell connector, so in this afternoon time, when this incident did occur, the traffic has to stop in front of the Acre Sports Pub, just to reference what is another complaining factor. For approximately 2 hours, from about noontime on that day, I noticed large crowds coming and going from the Acre Sports Pub. I also noticed at that time that there was a DJ speaker, a very large music speaker, in one of their front doorways that was playing music outside of the bar. It was my indication that it was at an unreasonable rate. However, we hadn't received any complaints from anyone in the neighborhood up until that time. And because it was St. Patrick's Day, admittingly, I let the infraction slide with the loud music playing outside. It was St. Patrick's Day. Also at this time, though, there was on at least 3 different occasions driving past the Acre Sports Pub, I noticed that crowds would gather on the front sidewalk. People were outside smoking. Some of these people were drinking alcoholic beverages. Again, being St. Patrick's Day, large crowds of people, I let those infractions also slide, just asking the patrons to step back inside with their alcoholic beverages and again, did not address anyone at the bar. All of the patrons were highly cooperative and did not complain that I asked them to step back into the bar with the alcohol. It was at approximately 2:30 p.m., though. I was continuing to patrol the area. I was parked in a parking lot adjacent to the North Common Swimming Pool, which is right next to the Market Basket parking lot. It was at that time that I could hear profanity coming from the area of the Acre Sports Pub. It's at that time that I noted that the music had clearly been turned up and the profane language was being spoken across the loudspeaker that was playing across the entire neighborhood. I began to drive through the parking lot of the Market Basket, and as I drove through the parking lot of the Market Basket, people were stopping me and were complaining about what was going on. As I continued to drive towards the area, I could clearly again tell that the music had been escalated and that karaoke was being played through the entire neighborhood. A male voice was heard swearing, and of course, as a public hearing being televised, I understand, so I'll leave out the profanity. However, it was something to the effect of, "Welcome, happy," with a swear, St. Patrick's Day. The male voice was also singing karaoke to the song, "Play That Funky Music, White Boy," and as you can guess, the profanity was, again, the word funky was being taken out of the sound with the song, with another word being injected in and being stressed over and over and over again. As I drove up to the front of the Acre Sports Pub, again, the parking lot across the street is the Rite Aid as well as the senior center for the city of Lowell. There were people standing in the parking lots. They were pointing at the infractions, pointing at the sports pub as if indicating to me that they wanted something to be done. I exited my cruiser. I called for backup. I began speaking to people at the front entrance, asking me to get either the manager or the DJ. Because the music was so loud, no one could tell what I was asking them. Because no one could hear me even outside, I walked over and actually unplugged the outdoor DJ speaker, carried it into the bar, and walked directly up to the DJ, placing the speaker down on the ground, asking him to step outside to speak with me. The DJ stepped outside. He identified himself as Larry Horn. Larry Horn is a person that I am familiar with through dealings with the city of Lowell as a police officer. He told me that he had been hired by the bar manager, Larry Valcourt. He told me Larry Valcourt had given him the check for the day. He also told me that Larry Valcourt was the one that had told him to turn up the music when Larry Valcourt began singing the karaoke music. I asked to speak to Larry Valcourt. The DJ went and got him. Larry Valcourt came out of the bar. At that time, Valcourt denied any involvement in the bar, stating he was not the owner, stated he was not the manager. He stated he did not know who the owner was and that he was only at the bar having a few drinks. It was noted that Valcourt was slurring his speech, had red glassy eyes, and it was under my impression that he was intoxicated. Valcourt admitted that he was the one singing the karaoke, but stated that he was singing inside the bar and was not disturbing anyone outside. He retreated back into the bar. It's at that time that I spoke to Larry Horn, the DJ, again. Larry Horn again indicated to me that that was Valcourt, who was the manager who had paid him. I went back into the bar to try to locate Valcourt to determine why he was basically lying to me about his involvement with the Acre Sports Pub. It's at that time I couldn't locate him. However, I found another person who was known to me, Mr. George Bugler. George Bugler was highly cooperative, very patient, was very nice. Stated that he was down there that day just helping out with the St. Patrick's Day celebrations. He walked me to the rear office area, knocked on the rear door that had a big sign that said office. Larry Valcourt opened the door. He was inside the office. I again asked the Valcourt, asking him if he was involved with the management of the bar. At this time, he stated that he knows the owner, Dennis Mercier. I asked him why he denied his involvement with the bar, and he then claimed that I never asked him anything about being involved with the bar. Again, he was slurring his speech. Again, it was very indicative to me that he was intoxicated. At that time, I notified him that he should, in fact, tell the owner of record that he told me was Dennis Mercier, that I'd be filing a report for the Licensing Commission to review. At that time, I departed from the bar, and I will note that there were other bar staff that apologized to me for what had occurred. There were other members, such as the bartender, that apologized for the loud music being played outside. But it was at that time that that particular bartender who was apologizing to me said that she didn't have any control over it, that she was only taking cues and directions from the manager, Larry Valcourt, that day, despite the fact that he was obviously intoxicated. Thank you.
Unfortunately, I have little to really argue with that. I mean, a lot of mistakes were made at the bar. I would only take exception to the role of Larry Valcourt. I mean, if the Lowell police wanted to take action against him, I think this is not the proper venue. Mr. Mercier is the license holder, and I don't think the actions of Larry Valcourt should be held against Mr. Mercier.
I guess it is a tricky situation with Mr. Valcourt. I guess technically was a patron in the bar at that time, but there's also Mr. Mercier's responsibility as the manager to have control of that bar. And if there are people out on the sidewalk, which Officer Beeland was very cordial to, and because it was a festive day, just asked nicely, and he said they were cooperative. But that shouldn't be occurring, because it's well known you shouldn't be drinking alcoholic beverages out on a main street. So although Mr. Valcourt may have been directing the bar operations that day, he's really a patron, and Mr. Mercier should have been in control that day. I think that's what's disturbing to me, is that I think we made it clear when we approved the transfer of the manager of record that it doesn't occur until the ABCC approves it.
I know Chairman Bayless always drives that point home, is, you're the manager until the ABCC says the approval's been granted. So, I mean,
Has the Acre Sports Pub had any violations recently?
No, there's been nothing on file regarding any activity, illegal or legal, against the licensed establishment.
If I may, it's my understanding that Mr. Mercier has been in business for 6 years, and I don't think there's been any violations. I think this is his first time appearing here. As unfortunate as all of this was, I really can't argue with any of it. It certainly won't happen again. Be sure of that. But this is an isolated incident. It was on St. Patrick's Day. It's not an excuse.
Well, I think it's good to note that Mr. Mercier hasn't been here in this time operating the establishment. That's very good, and you're doing a good job to do that. But you got to remember, as long as you're the manager, you're responsible for those individuals that are in your bar. Yeah. So that's the one thing that's concerning to me.
I think what probably happened here is you guys were caught in that transition of turning it over. So whereas you might be the manager of record, you're not there on the day-to-day operations necessarily, or so. Is there any word on the status of how long that's going to take to get finalized?
Our last communication with the DOR, my father spoke with someone the other day, and they tell us it may be a few days, maybe a week or two, but dealing with Boston, so I don't want to commit to anything for sure. But okay. Let's say it should be imminent.
All right, I mean, my concern is, I really don't want to, you've got no record, you've got no problems, and I don't want to penalize you for the incoming guy, well, essentially creating the problem, Not that karaoke itself should be a reason to suspend a liquor license, but we do give out entertainment licenses for that. I don't think that we got a basis to go forward on hindering the investigation, since I haven't heard anything that you've hindered an investigation. I have heard that the incoming manager may very well have hindered something, but he's still not the manager of record. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess my suggestion would just be that we put it on file, but you gotta let Mr. Valcourt know that when he does become manager, he cannot act in the manner he did that day. And he can't act in that manner while you're still manager. So that would be my suggestion.
Yeah, and I would let him know too that he'll be coming in as a manager with a record before the board, before he's even got a license. So, I think I'll concur with your recommendation, set a form of a motion.
I'll make a motion
Okay.
to put it on file.
I think we got counsel.
The only thing I would suggest is that the officer, of course, gave his testimony, Officer Beelant, that his report be made part of the record as well. Since you're going to be placing it on file, that it would be part of the record for any future review.
Oh, no, I agree. I think you're absolutely right, and I think realistically, we've identified the problem, and I'm hoping it's not something that's going to become a recurring problem when this transfer goes through or is finalized. Thoughts? Okay. That's motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
With respect to the next item on the agenda, I defer to City Solicitor Dave Fenton. This is pertaining to a matter of another complaint against the licensee known as Kompong Tom Market, Inc., Appleton Liquors, 171 Appleton Street. Well, let me just add to that by just stating that the License Commission is a 3-member board, and one of our 3 members, unfortunately, cannot be with us today. Health has kept him away, and hopefully he'll be back in the very near future. In the meantime, we have a commissioner who is unable to act in the manner of this complaint, which against the licensee known as Kompong Tom Market, Inc., doing business as Appleton Liquors, Cheng Tel manager, the all-alcoholic package store licensee at 171 Appleton Street. The superintendent of police, Kenneth LaValle, has found cause to notify the licensing board that this particular licensee allegedly may have sold an alcohol beverage to a person not of legal age. Commissioner Brian Occasion has recused himself from this matter outright, which poses the interesting dilemma for...
I guess the dilemma is this: it takes 2 out of 3 members of the commission to vote for anything, and there's only 1 who's eligible to vote at this moment. My counsel, is there going to be a problem if we just carry this over until, say, May 28th, when we believe that Chairman Bayless will be back?
That's really the only thing that can be done, because the rule of necessity, which would kick in some situations, would not be applicable here, because Commissioner Bayless' absence is not because of a conflict, it's because of an illness, and therefore, the rule of necessity, which might allow Commissioner Occasion to vote, is not applicable here, so therefore, you would be the only eligible voter, and therefore, it would not be valid. Accordingly, I would suggest, therefore, that it be put over until the 28th of May.
The other question is, it's my understanding, and I don't have this officially in writing, but Commissioner Weicker, that the licensee of record has retained legal counsel who is not here today to speak on the matter, but for purposes of, once the office is able, License Commission office is able to confirm that this particular attorney is the counsel for this licensee, I could forward a communication based on the best case scenario that Commissioner Bayless possibly could be available for the meeting of May the 28th, at which time the commission would then entertain the complaint that the superintendent has filed and is now before the...
Okay, I think I agree that, we just obviously need to just renotice it, since I don't see the respondent here, so I don't think I need to put it in the form of a motion, right? We've got nobody here, this matter hasn't been opened up, so if we can just put it back on the calendar for May 28th.
Okay.
And that way I don't have to worry about taking a one-man vote, right?
Well, I think the office can just...
Yeah, we can re-notify it.
Notify and hopefully at that point we'll have a matter. If perchance Commissioner Bayless was available for our next regular meeting, which is for May the 14th, would it be necessary then we could take a vote to schedule the hearing officially, or is it?
Well, no, I think you can.
Just go with
you
the
can
20th.
schedule, just as you might schedule the hearing as well,
Okay.
so.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
We can
Next
move on now if Commissioner Occasion is available?
Yes.
Commissioner Occasion, Commissioner White, we have two communications the board should be familiar with. One has to do with an event that took place in Lot A adjacent to the Songus Arena on Wednesday, April the 15th. There was an afternoon outdoor concert that the event scheduled for the arena that evening included a free outdoor concert at Lot A on the 15th of April. At that time, in anticipation of that event, there was a representative from the SMG, the managing company of the Songus, and she had presented a request for amplification of sound permit for this concert outdoors in Lot A on April 15th. The Commission acted favorably on the matter of the request. Unfortunately, the date and time, location proved to be a problem for an abutting property owner and tenants in that building, which is at 660 Suffolk Street, is known as the One Lancet Mills. The property manager communicated to the License Commission Office, the communication is dated April 21st. The property manager is known as Farley White Management, and Mr. Leonard Briggs is the senior property manager. Apparently had received a fair number of complaints from his tenants, if not all of the tenants, complaining about the high volume that particular afternoon, and that the sound effects were disruptive, and apparently some of the sound effects included profanity from some of the musicians. And so he just wanted to be put on record that if at all possible, that type of situation not take place again, particularly on a weekday when people are actively working.
Or
so
April 15th, filing their taxes.
So the thing is, I would just suggest if the communication that I speak of be forwarded to the city manager and also to the management of the Songus Arena for their consideration, if and when they wish to allow the Lot A to be used again, bearing in mind that they have people that.
So,
and I think
residential building?
I'm sorry?
Residential building or commercial building?
Oh, it's commercial.
Okay.
Oh, it's all commercial.
I think next time we'll have to, as a board, inquire a little further as to what type of acts we'll be performing. I think we were under the impression that there would be a different crowd than what was there that day, and it wasn't until the Lowell Sun publicized who was going to be there. I know I had a little concern about it, but we received just one letter, so maybe they were better than I thought they would be, but we'll have to do a better job next time, I think, of figuring out who's going to be performing.
Also another communication relating to a used car dealer. Donald J. Duran, the property owner for property at 173 Stedman Street, has a tenant who has vacated the premises and claims the tenant has not paid rent. The tenant being Michael W. Caveney, who is the manager of the LLC known as MC Auto. He's a used car dealer licensee for premises at 173 Stedman Street. And Mr. Durand is pressed to either fill the vacancy or fill the lot, if not for himself or somebody else. I explained to Mr. Durand that before the commission could even consider a new application, the existing licensee and his license matter would have to be addressed by the board, and the only suitable way that the board could do that would be to notify Mr. Caveney, who is the licensee of the principal in the LLC, to appear before the board to answer to the allegation that he has not paid his rent, he's vacated the premises, and it may be the commission's consideration to either cancel or revoke his license, but not before can the commission entertain any license application for a new person. So if you wish, I can send a communication to Mr. Caveney to appear before the board on May the 14th.
All right.
That'd be great.
That's my story.
All right. Any members of the public who wish to speak? No.
I just want to send out my best wishes to Chairman Bayless, and I know he's probably watching, and we hope up here that you're feeling better and that you're back here soon.
And we hope that you're taking the opportunity that you have some time now to spend a little bit more time with Benjamin, since you've got that extra hour or so on that every other Thursday. So with that, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second. Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Yes.